Inspirational quotes from the book of Zohar. The morning deer. Pinhas 691 to 700. As the deer longs for the water brooks, so my soul longs for you, O God. Although there are masculine and feminine forms in the Hebrew, it is all one, since deer is read in masculine form and it is read in feminine form. It is written as the deer longs, where longs is in feminine form. It does not say long in masculine form, since it is all one, the Malchut. However, in the first state, when she is with Zeranpin, the two great lights, she is called a deer, and in the second state, after she has been diminished, she is called a deer. The morning deer is one merciful animal, the Malchut, of which there are none so merciful among all the animals in the world. When she is in a hurry and needs food for herself and for all the animals, which are all the hosts, Bia, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya, she goes far away to a faraway road and comes carrying food. She does not wish to eat until she comes and returns to her place, so that the rest of the animals will gather to her and she will dispense to them from that food. And when she comes, all the other animals gather to her, and she stands in the middle, giving to each and every one. And the sign is, she rises while it is still night and gives prey to her household. And from what she gives to them, she is satiated, as if she has eaten more than all of them. And when the morning comes, which is called dawn, the pangs of exile shall come to her. And this is why she is called the morning deer, after the darkness in the morning. At that time, she suffers pangs as one who is in labor, as it is written, as the expectant approaches the time of labor, she wreathes and cries out in her pangs. She dispenses to them when the morning should come, while it is still night, and the darkness departs before the light. As it is written, she rises while it is still night, and gives prey to her household. When the morning has risen, they are all satiated with her food. At that time, a voice in the middle of the firmament awakens, calls out loud and says, "Those who are near, go into your places. Those who are far, go out. Each will gather unto his proper place. When the sun shines, each gathers to his place, and she goes by the day, appears by night, and dispenses food in the morning. This is why she's called the morning deer. Afterwards, she prevails as a mighty one and goes, and she's called a buck, a masculine name. She walks 60 parsas from the place from which she left, goes into the mountain of darkness, and walks inside the mountain of darkness. One slain serpent smells after her feet and walks at her feet, and she rises from there to the mountain of light. When she has arrived there, the Creator brings her serpent and leaves. They fight each other and she's saved. And from there she takes food and returns to her place at midnight. And from midnight onward, she begins to dispense until the morning dawn rises. When the morning rises, she goes and she's not seen. When the world needs rain, all the other animals gather to her, and she rises to the top of a high mountain and covers her head between her knees and yells one yell. The Creator hears her voice and fills with mercy over the world, and she comes down from the top of the mountain and runs, hides herself, and all the other animals run after her, but cannot find her. As it is written, as the deer longs for the water brooks, those water brooks that have gone dry, and the world is thirsty for water, then she longs. When she is impregnated, she becomes blocked. When it is time for her to deliver, she yells and raises her voices, voice after voice, up to 70 voices, is the number of the words in The Lord Will Answer You on a Day of Plight, which is a poem of that impregnated one. And the Creator hears her and brings her salvation to her. Then one large serpent comes out of the mountains of darkness and comes among the mountains, his mouth licking in the dust. He reaches that buck and comes and bites her in that place 2 times. In the first time, blood comes out of her and the serpent licks. And in the second time, water comes out, and all those animals in the mountains drink. Then she opens and delivers. Your sign is, and struck the rock twice with his rod. And it is written, and the congregation and their beasts drank. At that time, when the Creator pities her for the deeds of that serpent, it is written, the voice of the Lord makes the deer to calve and strips the forest bare. The voice of the Lord makes the deer to calve are the pangs and the pains to evoke those 70 voices. Promptly and strips the forests bare, to evoke a serpent and to disclose that animal, to walk among them in the Creator's hall, which is the Malchut. All those multitudes in Bia start and say, Glory, meaning blessed is the glory of the Creator from his place, which is the Malchut, who is called the glory of the Creator. Here he explains to us a profound matter in regard to Malchut. You already know that Zeir Anpin is the governess of the day, right, the governess of Chasadim. Malchut is the governess of the night, left, the governess of Chokhmah on the left. Hence, during the day, when Chokhmah cannot govern, time is pressing for Malchut, and she does not have her food, the light of Chokhmah on the left. Later in the day, there is no disclosure of light of Chokhmah. Hers and her army's food, which extend from it, and she must extend her food because Chokhmah is dispensed only with dinim. And as long as she is not clothed in chasadim, in a zivug of the middle line, harsh dinim extend from her, and these dinim appear through her appearance. They are regarded as far and as a faraway road. It is written, his sister stood at a distance. His sister implies Chokhmah. Also, I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. This is done right at the beginning of the night. Hence, at that time, the darkness spreads over the land, since the illumination of Chokhmah on the left, without right, is darkness. However, then, her food, which is illumination of Chokhmah, is extended, and then she brings and takes the food, the Chokhmah of the left. But then, when she extends the Chokhmah, she freezes from all the dinim in the Chokhmah without chasadim. This means that she cannot give anything, since Malchut does not wish to be in a left without a right, at the place of the elicitation of Chokhmah, which is a faraway road, until she returns to her place in the middle line of the Anpin, where the left unites with the right, for this is her perpetual place between the two arms of the king. Why must she return to her place? It is because she arrives at her place in the middle line. Her lights freeze in her, and she cannot give anything to the rest of the animals, to her armies, which extend from her. But when she comes to her place, all the animals gather to her, and she bestows upon them from the light of Chokhmah. She stands in a zivug with the middle line, her lights open, and she can dispense to anyone. Also, reception of illumination is called rising. As it is written, she rises while it is still night, for then she receives Chokhmah, called rising, and gives prey to her household, meaning she gives to all her armies.